welcome to a brand new episode of Data Details, a series by the Hindu Business Line, with me Parvati Benu and Narayanan. If you are from Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh or Telangana, Narayanan here has some really good news for you. All these states recorded superb growth in revenue receipts in the first quarter of this financial year. He got it covered in the latest deep dive, which by the way you can read by clicking the link in description. Now what exactly does it mean? We will ask the reporter himself. In your story, you said that South India did really well financially in the first quarter. That is from April to June. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, all the five southern states have done exceedingly well. We looked at their revenue trends in the first quarter, and especially some of the key highlights include Tamil Nadu, for instance, recorded a highest revenue in gross tax, and Kerala have recorded good growth in their own tax revenue collections, and Telangana have recorded a good growth in their non-tax revenue. So all the five states have shown a good growth in their tax revenue collections in the first quarter.
So the revenues have gone up substantially. How did that happen?
There are three important factors which is driving the revenue growth of southern states. First is this low base effect. Last year around the same quarter we had the challenge of second wave of COVID, which impacted the economies of all the states. And secondly, this revenues cannot be wholly attributed to the consumption, but economists also say it is because of the high price rise, inflation, which in turn will lead to higher growth in tax collections. Third important element is the growth of non-tax revenues, which many states were able to monetize during this quarter. This includes some of the sale of their land, unused land, and other means which are not purely from the tax sources.
The story says that every South Indian state is a winner. You have Tamil Nadu, which has a high tax revenue. Kerala's own tax revenue collection is off the charts. And when it comes to SGST, Karnataka is doing a stellar job.
Yes, you are right. Each of the states have shown good growth in terms of respective tax collections. For instance, Kerala's own tax revenue has grown by 71%, which is highest among all the southern states, and growth in own tax revenue reflects lesser dependence on the center for funds or market borrowings, which shows that states have been very good in tax collections. And if you take Tamil Nadu and Karnataka for example, their SGST have gone up substantially because of the consumption which is coming in the backdrop of unlocking of the COVID. These are some of the important elements. One aspect is Telangana, especially their non-tax revenues is currently about 6,000 crore, which is highest among all the southern states, which shows that it's not just the tax revenue. The states are looking at monetizing the non-tax resources also, which makes them lesser dependent on the center.
All that is great, but is this growth really sustainable?
This kind of strong growth is not sustainable going forward, especially because, as I told you earlier, this comes from a low base of previous year quarter when we had the impact of COVID. Going forward, we will not have that kind of advantage. And number two is the inflation aspect. In the first quarter, we had inflation hovering around 7%, and the RBI has been taking a lot of measures to contain the inflation. So when the prices comes down substantially, the tax collection will also proportionately come down. So going forward, we will not see this kind of healthy growth for state revenues.
Turns out the growth wasn't that sustainable after all. But the devil is in the details, and we will keep you updated about the numbers. And how will you keep yourself updated? By subscribing to the HinduBusinessLine.com and to our socials. We will see you again soon.